Welcome to the official FIU Honors College podcast, Panthers Unleashed. I am your host, Massiel Gonzalez. Join us as we dive into the stories, passions, and discoveries of our boldest students, faculty, and alumni. Let's dive. Hi, Panthers. Welcome back to Panthers Unleashed. Today, we're back with another episode, and we have a special guest whose energy, leadership, and drive truly embody what it means to be in the Honors College. Joining us is Adrian Mangano. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Glad to have you here. And of course, guys, I always give a little brief introduction of all of my guests. So if you don't know Adrian, don't worry, I got you. So he's a first-year honors college student who's already making major waves on campus. He's the founder and president of FIU Toastmasters, a member of Sigma Phi Epsilon, part of IBHS, involved in the Bartenders Guild, and currently working to rebuild FIU Sailing Club. Outside of campus life, he's a world traveler, surfer, skateboarder, rock climber, cook, nonprofit founder. Basically, he's what happens when passion meets momentum. Adrian, welcome to Panthers Unleashed. We're excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. That's a long list.
I know. All of my guests are just sitting there listening to themselves, everything that they've done. I'm like, well, but y'all have done a lot. So it's and I did my research. So, yeah.
There we go.
But let's just get right into it, right? Let's start at the beginning. So you're new to the Honors College this year, but incredibly active. What drew you to the Honors College, and how has the experience shaped your first year at FIU?
Yeah, good question. So I would say what drove me to the Honors College is really everything, it has to offer.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first got to FIU, I'm from North Carolina, so I live on campus. I'm not a commuter like a lot of people.
Yeah.
And, I was touring the campus, and I saw the big honors dorms, and I was like, what is
this
that?
This is nice.
What is, yeah, this is legit. That's not, Lakeview.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was like my almost first big introduction to the Honors College. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was a good introduction because it kind of showed how the Honors College is different and it provides a unique atmosphere in a sense. And so, definitely walking around campus with my dad, seeing that, he was like, yeah, you need to be there. Mm-hmm. So just that different aspect that the Honors College provides to FIU, almost I would say a different twist, and everything it has to provide from the different classes, study abroad, different programs that you can partake in, and just everything that comes with it is really what drew me in.
Wonderful. I mean, we had another guest who mentioned that the one thing that drew them in was the priority registration. That's what a lot of people say. There's always something that draws you in, but at the end they come to realize that it's not just for example, the living or priority registration or whatever. It's just everything. You come to see it's wait a minute, this is just bigger than what I thought. Yeah,
because you get all this stuff at once that you can just take advantage of, and that's what I love about it. You can kind of create your own path with it. There's all these different little ingredients in the Honors College, and you can kind of do your own thing, which is super cool.
Yes. So moving on, you didn't just come here, moved all the way here and just stayed put. You decided to be active on campus, right? And you became the founder and president of FIU Toastmasters, which is huge. What inspired you to start this club, and how has it helped you grow as a communicator and leader?
Yeah, so I would say definitely with everything I do, I've grown up this way, always to kind of bring an entrepreneurial mindset to a lot of things. I like to, be the leader in things, start things, bring new ideas to the table. I did that in high school, and I've kind of done that with a lot of things just growing up in general. My dad, he was an entrepreneur, so that's a lot of influence from him, I would say. But yeah, ultimately that mindset is just kind of what brings me to always want to do new stuff and bring new things to the table. When it comes to Toastmasters, where that idea kind of came from was somebody came, I was at a meeting, and they talked to us about the idea. His name is Tony, great guy. He's a legendary Toastmaster in Miami. And he mentioned, this awesome club or organization, but there's not one in FIU. So I was able to kind of just see that opportunity, see it was something that I could try to take advantage of and use and try to bring to FIU. And that's exactly pretty much how it started. I love public speaking. I love talking to people. And so it just seemed to check all the boxes. And I was able to just fit it in there and give myself a project that I was really passionate about.
No, and that's wonderful. I mean, the club itself is just has such a good message and just a very good purpose, because at the end of the day, we all need public speaking skills, or just speaking to anyone, whether that be like an employer, or even if you're going to grad school for those grad school interviews and all of that. It's very important. So it's pretty cool that you brought something that is like part of other campuses here.
That's been one of our biggest like benefits and speaking points, is that everybody can use it, and it's used for every major, every career path. Everybody can fit public speaking into their career or ability or whatever they're doing, and it's going to make them that much better in that field, I would say. I mean, I always love to use an example, especially when talking to other people about Toastmasters, where if you have an accountant and he's super, locked in on everything he's doing, he's 100%, he's the best accountant in the world, but he can't talk, he can't speak. And then you also have this accountant, he's pretty good, but he can speak fluently, generate his ideas well. He's going to get hired 9 times out of 10 over the other accountant, because he knows.
I feel like it's all about charisma and like how you like put yourself out there.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And moving on, not only did you start Toastmasters and all of that, you've also become involved in other organizations like Sigma Phi Epsilon, IBHS, and the Bartenders Guild. And you're currently trying to rebuild the sailing club here at FIU. Yeah. How do you balance all of these roles while also staying grounded academically?
Another good question. It's hard. It's definitely hard to balance all of these roles. But I don't really like look at it as like tasks or roles. How I've kind of like gotten so much participation in all these things, it's stuff I like to do. So just adding those things into my daily schedule has just kind of given me the opportunity to kind of tap into all these different areas that FIU has to offer. Yeah. And just kind of making them all part of my life is how I fit in my schedule. It's like going to lunch, just starting a club.
Yeah, like it's the same thing. But that's one of my favorite questions to ask any of the students I've featured here in the podcast, because all of the honors college students here are, I feel, overachievers. I feel like that's something that we all have in common, and we're doing so many things, and we're very active on campus. And that's one of my favorite questions to ask, because I'm like, how do you balance it all? And people have different, I guess, ways of doing it. Sure. One of our guests here, he was like, oh, I go everything by my Google Calendar. And like I make like little reminders to like stay on track of everything I have to do. Other people like you're just like, oh, that's just what I love to do, so it's a lot easier for me. And so I
was just also going to say, like, you were just talking about how there's so many honors college kids that are overachievers, and I definitely see that in many of my friends and many of the other honors college kids. But I also think, it's very important to talk about how you can try to just pick up everything and just try to build this amazing, like, huge resume, but it's also important to, do a few things well. Yeah. And that's definitely, like, as many opportunities as I've accepted, I've also rejected a bunch because of how full my schedule is. And so I think it's also super important to just make sure you're not doing too much, so you can focus and prioritize stuff that you can do well, and that'll look the best for you in the future. Yeah,
that's another thing I can agree on. I don't commit myself to something unless I can give 100% to 100%. It. So there have been times where I've, rejected or have said no to a couple of things because I know I'm like, wait, I'm too full right now. My schedule, like, if I add in something else, guys, I will explode. Like,
that's something I've had to work on as well.
Yeah. So it's just having that balance and knowing how much, like, what's your limit? How much can you, take on?
For sure.
So now going into the sailing, right? It's a pretty unique passion. I thought I was like the only one with like unique stuff, but what's your vision for the new FIU Sailing Club, and how do you hope it will impact students across campus?
Yeah, for sure. So how I honestly got involved with the sailing club is just, I love sailing. I grew up sailing over the summer at a sleepaway camp, and that's really how I got introduced to it. Every summer I would go back for like 10 years straight and just do sailing for like a month at this camp. But when I got into college, I'm not really going to camp anymore. I mean, I did do a counselorship for a few years, which is super cool, but still, my schedule got busy. And Miami, it's right by the water, so I had to find, some kind of sailing here. I knew there was something, so I just started looking up on Instagram. Eventually, I found this FIU sailing account, but the club got, taken down. after being around for a few years. And recently, after going sailing with them a few times and talking to different people, I found they're trying to bring that back.
Yeah.
And so I'm definitely trying to do my part and in trying to help out with that any way I can. And it's looking to be super cool. We just got accepted to start doing some practices in next semester. So
nice. Awesome. So honors college students watching, stay on the lookout for that. So continuing on your list of hobbies or things that you like to do, you have a long list of them. So how do these activities contribute to who you are and the way you approach leadership and community building?
Yeah, so I definitely do have a long list of activities, and again, it's hard to fit them all in my schedule all the time, but between skateboarding, rock climbing, sailing, I don't know, I've always looked at them as sports, but not traditional sports, kind of like ice skating, right? Mm-hmm. It's not really traditional baseball, football, soccer, all that. And I've always, loved that uniqueness in those sports. And I think a lot of these different extracurricular kind of involved sports, they give you a certain mindset. Mm-hmm. So some of them, they'll lead to failing. Some of them, you have to keep trying. Maybe if it's skateboarding, you have to keep trying to land a new trick. And I think that very much correlates with my life and how I approach things where, you do fail a lot. You have to try hard. But in the end, it usually turns out well. It works out. You just got to keep going at it.
Wonderful. And continuing, you also started a nonprofit, which is very impressive. Can you tell us more about that journey and how did it shape your passion for leadership and creative new projects?
For sure. So the nonprofit, I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. And the nonprofit I started, it's called Skate Raleigh, SKA Raleigh. Super cool. It basically started with my passion of skateboarding. And in Raleigh and through skateboarding, I began to grow a group of friends that way, and we would skate around town all the time. But we noticed there wasn't a specific skate park dedicated to skateboarding action sports really located inside the Beltline in downtown Raleigh. Everything, you had to drive for, and we're 14, 15-year-old. We're not driving.
Yeah.
We're not driving. And so it could be hard, to get out to those skate parks. And after, talking to my dad and talking to other people and my friends, we wanted to do something where we could bring that opportunity to our city since no one else was. So we then took this idea to our local government. We met with those government officials, talked to them, we went to different meetings, and then we started getting support behind it. Then we started doing fundraising, which was a super cool experience. Then we started building a board with super unique, passionate people, and that was an amazing experience to work with them and feel how it is to be a part of a team, part of a board. And I would say that's my real first experience of being a part of a team, which, has led me to a bunch of other things that I'm doing here at FIU. And then, through that, finally, we were able to break ground on this property right in downtown Raleigh, right off the highway. So when people are driving by, they see it. And there is now a skate park there, which is super cool. And from this, we've built an awesome community all the time. Like, we just had a pop-up event in my city where we brought mobile skate obstacles to this park, and kids were all there skating. So, and unfortunately, I'm just looking at it through Instagram. But when I'm there, I always try to make it out to events and visit. But it's grown to the super awesome community that we've built, and it's so awesome to see. And I think more skate parks are in the future to come from it.
Yeah, that's so sweet. And I feel like it probably felt really special just seeing how you built something from the ground up, essentially, and seeing it now flourish and do so well, and other people enjoying it too.
And the lot that we built in, it was I grew up by it because it's by my house. So I would drive by it all the time. This empty lot. I think it used to be an old baseball field even, and now it was just a cement path. And we were able to take that and build something awesome with it. And all the time, even the city uses it to activate different events. We use it for different events. We have local DJs out there, food vendors that we support, and it's just been a super, super awesome experience and great community I've been able to build. And even my younger friends who I had in Raleigh, they've now kind of taken participation in it and activate for it, which is super cool to see that being passed on.
That is very cool. I love that. And I love that others now get to, like, I guess, take part in this and continue this that you started, right? So we're going to move on now. We're going to move on to traveling, which is one of my favorite things. But you've traveled across Africa, Asia, South America, and Europe. How do these experiences influence your worldview, and how do they play into your goals as a student in the Honors College?
Yeah, so I grew up traveling since I was little. My parents just always loved to pack a suitcase, go, travel.
Same here. Like, I think my first trip was, like, I was 1 month.
Yeah.
I was 1 month. My passport is just me, my mom holding me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's that experience where literally just take you, go somewhere, and it was never like, it was never even crazy luxury or anything. It's just, sometimes it was even just backpacking, like through Europe and stuff, and so that was super cool, and I've always been kind of introduced to that. And then as I've gotten older, we've gone on different trips. As you mentioned, I think one of my favorites was like Southeast Asia, and it was 2 weeks with my family, and then after that they left me with my friend. And he has family in Vietnam, and so we literally left Ho Chi Minh, and we stayed in like this outskirts kind of little house in Vietnam, and that was a crazy experience on its own, just us kind of alone there and being with this family and seeing how they live outside of all the touristy hotels and all that stuff.
I feel like that's my favorite thing in like any sort of trip, is just seeing how people actually live. Like, I like the touristy part, don't get me wrong, and like the flashy part, but then like getting into like where like people live and just like seeing the culture like full on, that's, I feel like, my favorite part. That's
the best part, to be able to get that raw experience of that culture, the food, the street food, all that. That's what I travel for, mostly. And so I would say, to kind of follow back into the question, traveling has given me a very open mindset to people and experiences. So when it comes to meeting new people, making friends, I definitely have very little to no judgmental mindset when I'm talking to them and trying to meet new people. And I'm also always open to new experiences, which is super cool. And I want those new experiences so I can be kind of out of my comfort zone and, gain new knowledge in any way, shape, or form.
So speaking about traveling abroad, right, and and all of that, we and the Honors College have several study abroad programs. And I've heard that you're hoping to join the Nepal study abroad program. What excites you more about that opportunity, and how do you think it fits into your personal and academic growth?
So what excites me about Nepal, first of all, going into college, I've always been super passionate and interested about study abroad, especially, from going on so many trips and such. I've always kind of wanted that aspect in my education. And so just seeing that the Honors College provides that was one thing that obviously drew me in. And there's all these different programs. And so looking through them, I saw Thailand, super cool, Japan, Italy, Europe. But then I saw Nepal, and I feel like Nepal is kind of a bit of the odd one out. And that's what really drew me to it, because it's like, Nepal, who's doing a study abroad in Nepal? Like, that's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
It's not like super normal. And so that's what drew me into that study abroad. And I don't know, I think I'm really excited for it. It looks like it has a ton of really cool opportunities. Might have to climb Mount Everest. I don't know.
Okay.
And yeah, I think the culture in Nepal, all the experiences, the food, and just meeting the people there. And just when I was even talking to the professor, he said it's a lot of like really true, in-depth, out of your comfort zone experiences. And that's what I look for when I travel, as we were just talking about. And so it just checked all the boxes for me, and it looks to be a super, super awesome opportunity.
I love that. So you have to let us know how everything goes
I will.
if you do end up going.
I'll send you a picture from the top of Mount Everest.
All right. So, unfortunately, we're getting close to the end of the episode. So, I always ask this question to anyone who comes onto the podcast. But for any students listening, whether they're in the Honors College or thinking about joining, what advice would you give them about getting involved and taking advantage of the opportunities at FIU?
Yeah, some advice that I would say to get involved is just start saying yes. I mean, that's one of the biggest things, just start saying yes to opportunities. That's one mindset I definitely had coming into this year, is if you don't feel you're as involved yet or you want to be doing more, when an opportunity comes across your table, take advantage of it. Really look into it. If someone offers, or even you hear about an e-board, an executive board position opening, check it out. Say yes to it, because you're just going to gain more experience from it. And whether it turns into a fail or a win, no matter what, you're going to be gaining more experience.
You still learn something from it. Like, I feel like I've had so many friends, like recently actually, who they're like, oh, I'm thinking about running for this position, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it because, or either this person is running, or I don't know, I don't feel like I'm going to win. I'm like, what do you have to lose? Yeah. What do you have to lose? It's not like you're getting kicked out of the university. It's not like you're getting kicked out of the club per se. I'm like, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing just give it your all, and you never know what could happen.
And just even going in for interviews randomly, or as you just said, running for an executive position, just as I like to talk about that public speaking aspect. You're even just getting experiences talking in front of a crowd and talking to people. And there's so many tools here at FIU that you can really take advantage of. I know, like, some of my friends, when I compare the tools that we have to them, like, it's a little different. We have everything, Panther Connect, like, literally at the beginning of the week,
we have Handshake, which offers you like internships and all of that. We have a lot.
I just scroll through Panther Connect, and there's hundreds and hundreds of events right there. I just write which ones I want to go to and go to them. And so it's really just trying to try everything out that you can and just taking advantage of everything. And you're going to get the most experience, most knowledge, and that's going to start to create your path ultimately and carve the path where you want to go, especially if you don't know. I come into college not really knowing exactly what path I want to go into, and I still don't know yet. I think you really shouldn't know if you're an undergrad. You should definitely right now be trying to see everything that's out there and create your own path that way. And that's ultimately how you're going to find out what you love and enjoy and what you want to do.
I completely agree with that. And to piggy back everything that you said, I believe that, like, a fail isn't really a fail. I feel like we learn from our failures, and if it wasn't meant to happen, it just wasn't meant to be. I feel like everything happens for a reason.
100%. I feel the same way. Like, there's so much you can learn from failing, and you should look forward to failing, because ultimately, if you're not failing, then you're not trying at all. Like, you're not, like, walking through life.
You're not bettering yourself.
There's no real thing such as failing. It's just kind of learning from those experiences.
Exactly.
And that's the best part of it.
All right. Well, Adrian, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your journey. Your passion for leadership, culture, adventure, and community truly reflects the spirit of the Honors College. We can't wait to see what you build next, whether it's on campus, at sea, or maybe across the globe.
Thank you so much for having me.
And of course, I can't leave you guys without plugging in all of our social media, right? So make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify, Panthers Unleashed, and to give it 5 stars and tune into the next episodes. And make sure to follow us at FIU Honors on Instagram, where we post any new internship opportunities, events coming up, or any sort of news that just comes up. You're going to find everything on there. So make sure to follow us and just turn on those notifications so you are always on top of everything. And with that being said, thank you so much again for coming. And as always, pause up, Panthers.